Guys, what's up? It is Josh here, your Friday guy on Transwolf. Sorry if my face looks like a complete mess right now. I just got done filming a video for my cat who passed away, so I'm emotional, and I'm crying. So if I cry during this video, I apologize. Just, emotional. Anyway, this week we are talking about our names and how we picked them, and stuff like that. So, my name is Joshua-Christopher Landon, and then my last name. Joshua and Christopher is my first name, which a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people either think that Christopher is a middle name, and that Landon doesn't exist in my name, or that Landon's like I don't even know what they think Landon is. Some people think that Christopher and Landon are my middle names. Some people think Christopher doesn't exist at all, like there's no Christopher. Only a very few people actually understand that Joshua and Christopher are first names combined, and then Landon is a middle name, and then there's another two names, not one, two, because I have a hyphenated last name as well. That one I did not choose, though, so that one's not my fault. So, originally, when I was picking my name, it was hell. It was difficult, and I was 14 trying to pick my name, and, that is not easy. It's not easy to pick a name no matter what age you are, and it's like, because people don't generally pick their own name, their parents pick their name. And so when you are in a position where you have to pick your name, it's difficult. And some people get the help from their parents, some people don't pick their own name a second time, so, like when they transition, some people might keep their old name, some people might ask their parents for help, or go by like family history, like if they are an F to M and their dad is like a Sean the Second, they might pick the name Sean and be Sean the Third to keep the tradition going. So there's family ties that some people have. For me, I didn't have any sort of family ties there was nothing really significant that went into me picking my name. The first name that I picked was Zachary, and my middle name for that was Austin, and that I had ties for that one, and that one was because I was looking at my baby book, and it said, if you had been born a boy, what would we have named you? It says Zachary, Austin. So I assumed that means they would have named either Zachary or Austin, so I just put Zachary Austin. And then I kept that name for a semester of school, and not even. I kept it for like a quarter and a half of school. That was my 9th grade year. And before Christmas was over, or before Christmas even happened, I had decided that I didn't like the name, and I didn't feel like a Zach. I didn't see myself as a Zach. I didn't want to be a Zach. So I wrote my mom a little letter saying I want my name to be Joshua Schuyler. And okay, I went through so many middle names, it's not even funny. And so after that, everybody started calling me Joshua. And meanwhile, online, I was going through a bunch of different names, like, almost every day. I was changing my name, like, not on Facebook, but, on a trans chat site that I go to, and you can temporarily change your name on there. So, almost every day I'd be asking one of the moderators if they could temporarily change my name so I could, like, see how it fit. And I had such a hard time finding a name that actually fit me. And this was after I had picked Joshua already for my in-person name. And, like, I liked Joshua a lot. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep it or not. And every single time that I picked a different name, I kept coming back to Joshua. But I also really like Christopher, and I didn't want to let go of Christopher, but I didn't want to let go of Joshua. So, what do you do when you don't want to let go of either of the names? Well, you just combine them. So that's what I did. And for Landon, that legit just popped in my head. I think my mom and my sister were like out shopping or something, and I don't know what made them think to call me about this, but my mom called me and she said, thinking about your name change, so what is the full name that you want to change it to? And I just automatically said Joshua Christopher Landon, and then my last name. And that was the first time Landon had ever popped in my head, the first time I had ever said the name. I do have a cousin named Landon, but he wasn't born at the time. I didn't know of any Landons at the time, like I do now, because I know a few guys who are trans named Landon, and I follow Most Amazing Top 10 has a guy named Landon on there. But before, like when I was actually picking Landon for my middle name, I didn't know of any Landons, and I hadn't seen that name on like any sites that like, and it didn't like stand out to me. So I don't really know where that came from, but obviously it was somewhere in my head because it just like stuck, and I still love it. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't like a compulsive like name pick thing, you know. It wasn't like a very quick situation and then, oh no, I hate this name. I really still like it. So that's how I picked my name. I looked at a bunch of baby books as well, like not like physical baby books. I just went online like Baby Genie and like baby books, and I made sure to look for like my age group. I don't know if Landon is in my age group, but the guy from Most Amazing Top 10 is named Landon, and he's older than me, so, yeah. And Joshua and Christopher are pretty popular for 1997 babies, and Landon, not so much, so it's kind of nice to have that one unique kind of, like, name in there that's not super common with my age group. I mean, it's not, like, super unique, but it's not, like, Josh, and it's not, like, Chris. So, yeah, that is what I did. But picking a name is really hard, and some people will give you backlash if you go through too many names. I got quite a bit of backlash online sometimes. Like, people got all angry at me sometimes when I kept changing my name. But one of the people who got kind of angry at me is now having the same issue, so now he apologized and he said he understands now what I'm going through. Because you're picking your name, you know, it's something that you're going to be living with for the rest of your life. It's not, you know, you're not picking what you're going to eat for dinner. It's a big decision, and you have to make sure it's what you like. So, keep in mind that it's ultimately up to you what you like, not what other people like, and not what other people see you as, because it's what you see you as, not what other people see you as. And, you know, just pick a name that you like, and don't be afraid to go and try a bunch of different names in like a chat site or something like that to see what fits you. Because you don't want to stick to one name just because you feel like you can't change it. Just like try some out, and then you can pick the one that you like. So yeah, I guess that would be my advice for picking your name. I know it's really difficult, especially if you're like really young. I think it might be a little bit more difficult if you don't have like parental approval, because then it gets harder if they like don't accept it and they don't call you that name and stuff like that. But anyway, just pick a name that you like, and don't be afraid to try out a bunch of them. Think of names like clothing, I guess you could say. Don't be afraid to go into that dressing room and try on all the different names and just, pick the one or the two that you like the best. Because in the end, it's your name. I know, I've probably repeated that like a bunch of times, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find a cool way to say it, I guess. Anyway, that is it for this video. One more thing, actually. Not to do with names, but, please keep our brother Shane in your thoughts. He had surgery this week, and, on his, I believe it was stomach surgery. And so, please keep him in your thoughts, as he recovers. So, if you don't see him for a little bit, he's recovering, but yeah, just so you guys know, keep him in your thoughts. So, Shane, I am wishing you well, and wishing you a speedy recovery, brother. Alright, that is it, and I will talk to you guys next Friday. Peace.